and welcome to the yet another inspirational session of Time to Shine. This is your host Ruxar Sayed, and today I'm in conversation with the dynamic Natasha Shrimanker. She is a powerhouse of resilience, an educator, a mentor, and the woman behind a soon to relaunch global vegan project. Welcome, Natasha, on my show, and it is indeed a pleasure to have a conversation with you today.
Hi, Rakshar. How are you? How's everything?
All good. How is everything on your end?
Not too bad, just very hot. But yeah, other than that, it's
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Natasha, from telesales to running a creative business in Ohio, and now you are managing a family food trading business in Dubai. What has been the driving force or, the defining moment in your journey so far?
So when I graduated from Ohio State University, I got my first job as a telesales. It was you're in your 20s and you're very excited to work. So obviously, then I had to come back to Dubai because being a Dubai kid, my family is here. When I came back here, I actually, it was very difficult. The journey was a bit different than what I expected. But my expertise always lay in PR, branding, and marketing. And that's exactly what I was doing.
Hmm.
But I learned a lot from telesales because I think at the end of the day, we're all salespeople. We're just trying to make some form of sales
Exactly.
in every expertise of any form of business or
Yes.
profession. And then after doing PR, I loved my job, and I was one of a good freelance PR also at a time, and
Wonderful.
then I got a corporate job. Yeah, I was with a big restaurant group that I was working with. And then I get news that suddenly my dad just passed away, and it was very sudden.
Hmm.
And life just turned around, life changed.
Hmm.
And I was, all this had happened when I was still in my 20s. And I think it's been a good long journey. It was very difficult, the transition, because a girl who's very creative and, my whole forte was creativity, branding, PR, and then finally getting a corporate job and then getting into a very different culture, a food trading company,
Hmm.
which, the way of working is different. You're surrounded by only predominantly men. And yeah, it was a very different transition. At that point, I didn't enjoy it at all. But of course, it's been many years now.
So, Natasha, how did you, stay grounded and motivated during this difficult phase?
Honestly, I think the only way most of us can stay grounded, I will not lie, I did procrastinate. I used to come back home upset, angry, and no, I want to get back to what I want to do. But I think you also have a sense of responsibility when you see
Yeah.
people around you
Hmm.
and the expectations that people have around you.
Hmm.
I'm survived by, of course, my mother and my uncle also were in the business, but it's just myself and my sister. She doesn't live here. So naturally, the only person who was here was me. And it was given that if anybody had to take care, it had to be, it had to come down on my shoulders. So as much as I wanted to get upset, I think the only way I stayed grounded was my surrounding and the people around me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, Natasha, many times it happens that we are in a moment of self-doubt or we judge our own work. So, how did you handle all these emotions?
I'll tell you something, Shah. I think we are humans and we are learning every day. And I'll be very open and honest to you. I have self-doubt even today. Even after so many years of experience, you're always going to have some reflection of self-doubt come your way when there's a new opportunity in front of you again. In those days, of course, it was the scale of 1 to 10. 10 was the highest, and I was in extreme self doubt for myself because I remember when I used to go to visit people, they would always ask me where if I had a brother.
Hmm.
So that was the first step of me stepping back and saying, "No, I don't. Is that a problem?" Because it was very new to me, and they're like, "No, no, we are not used to talking to a woman. We would prefer talking. I mean, you don't have a brother taking care of the business." I said, "No, it's just me." So I think self-doubt is when you don't know something, when you don't know your surrounding, when you don't know how people are going to react. And the way I conquered it is, I think, learning, understanding, not giving up, and going back again and again. And I think the most important thing is having a thick skin at the end of the day. You know, this is what you have to do. You have to
Exactly.
fall in love with it. You have to know what you're doing, and you have to love your product that you're selling, and you have to make friends with it. Yeah.
Yeah, you said it rightly that, we have to be a thick skin. Like we have to be at certain point that we will not shake.
Yeah,
If any storm occurs, if anyone will judge, we have to do our own work. So that is,
absolutely.
in today's world, in today's era, women should have that courage to face challenges like these because life is uncertain. Anything
Mhm.
can happen anytime, and we have to, take up
Exactly.
any role, especially women. That is the reason why they are said as multitaskers. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Natasha, moving forward, you were also a mentor teaching women communication skills and business skills. So how did this happen and what was the reason behind this?
I think, I've always had a bit of a self, I like to give back. And, people, they always talk about charity. And to be honest, I can give you money today.
Mm,
Tomorrow, again, you'll be asking for it because you would have used it up. So
mm,
I believe that we're a chain, all of us. I learn something from you, you learn something from me. So
yes,
I always believe it's important to give knowledge. If I'm good at something, I want to empower you so that tomorrow you can use those skills and empower yourself and maybe somebody else.
yes,
And
exactly.
this actually happened during the time of Corona, where I saw a lot of people. I saw some groups online. People were, losing jobs. And then I met across some women and some young girls who, they weren't in school anymore because of the affordability. And
Mm,
that's when I took this upon myself and I decided that, you know what, it's high time we do something about this, baby steps. And that's the reason I started. And it's amazing to see these women get into jobs. I feel being self-reliant is the most important thing in the world.
exactly. And
Yeah,
in today's world, this skill is very, very important, developing the communication and working
yeah,
on our speaking skills because it is
yeah,
required in this high demanding world, and you are doing a great
yeah.
job. So,
Thank you.
moving forward, tell us about your passion project, the Vegan Vegetarian Gourmet Meal Plan. Like, what sparked the idea, and how are you planning to relaunch it globally, with an online course?
Yeah. So I've always been a foodie. I mean, food trading, but I guess it's in our blood. I love food. I love it to, I just go travel only because I want to eat someplace. So I think again this happened during Corona, where I used to see a lot of us struggle with what to cook at home.
Mm,
And so it started more like a DIY kit, but for vegans and vegetarians. And that's how it started. And then I decided to open my own cloud kitchen, which we did. And we started meal planning. And, when people talk about vegan and vegetarian food, they find it very, oh, what can you eat? So the reason it's gourmet, it's because you can actually make good food,
mm,
restaurant style food, and you will not miss the meat. And I've actually got these reviews. Unfortunately, because it's a very time consuming project,
mm,
and it's also a very, it requires a lot of your time. So I
mm.
have put it on hold for the time being. But yes, very soon working on a course, which will be online and which will be available to all.
It
Yeah.
is, but by the way, this is a very creative, venture which you have started, and I wish you all the very best. And
Thank you.
may you rise with flying colors with this project because the
Thank
way
you.
you designed it and the way you are telling about this, I think that it is very creative and unique idea, you know.
Thank
So
you. Yeah.
yeah. So, Natasha, looking at back at your journey, your success, struggles, and self-growth, what message would you like to share with other women who are struggling to find their way and, a voice?
I think you know what they're gonna be. Don't copy. Don't get enamored by what others are doing. And I think in today's social media, we tend to do this a lot. I think find your ground. There's no right or wrong. Be
Mm,
open. Things can change. But the most important is to not depend.
mm,
Try to find something to always be self-reliant. And I keep saying this is because this is life. You have to figure it out on your own, and you have to figure out a way to be self-reliant so that tomorrow you are not depending on anyone to do things for you. And I
exactly.
think this is the only advice I would give people, and be happy and find your ground. Yeah. And social media, we all post things, but let's just be honest. It's not, it's something we post to be happy, but it's not what people are usually living.
Exactly. As you said, people are using social media even to fool other people. Even like as we have seen that, the most famous quote of an apple, that imagery, where the apple is very ripe and red at the front, and then
Yeah,
if you see the other side, on the mirror side, it's fully, eaten up and rotten. So people only show the happy side,
exactly.
and it negatively
Yeah,
sometimes influences others that, okay, everything is
exactly.
glittery and their life is full of glamour. So
Yeah.
social media, yeah, it is, unfortunately people are using it, for
You know,
negativity.
it's a positive and a negative, like you and I here are today.
Yes,
So I think there is a positive and it can be a negative, but yeah, I think just find your own ground,
that's what.
and
Yes,
get inspired, but
exactly.
don't be envious. Just get inspired.
Yes, yes, yes. That is the reason why most of the people are getting sometimes carried away with this. Sometimes people are getting negatively
Yeah,
influenced and they try to copy.
yeah,
They try to feel insecure that
exactly,
why that person has everything and why I'm struggling in life so much.
exactly,
So, yeah,
exactly.
this happens. And you said one more point correctly, that we have to be self-dependent, independent, and do not depend on others. So, it is like, especially
Yeah, I strongly believe.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
recently, I have seen one of the interviews of Preeti Zinta where she said that you girls, before marriage, they are depending upon their fathers. After, marriage, they're depending on their husbands. So that chain we have to
exactly.
break, and we have to be
Yeah,
self-independent. So
yes,
yeah,
yes.
so
So you can do
thank
what you
you.
want.
Yes,
Your
yes,
money. Yeah.
yes, you can go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, you can go
Thank
ahead.
you
Yes,
so much. Yeah, no, I mean, I just say, you can do what you want, and you can buy things for yourself. You
exactly.
can, and this is a very important thing. Yeah.
Yes. So thank you, Natasha, for joining today. And this conversation was very fruitful and I enjoyed it a lot. I have gained so many insights
Me too.
from this session. I hope our viewers will also enjoy it. And thank you once again for taking out your precious time and joining this episode.
Thank you so much, Ruxar, and you're doing a great job. I keep seeing your posts, so
Yeah,
all
thank
the
you so
best to
much.
you as well.
Yeah. So your links, your
Thank you.
social media handles, and your services, we will post on our episode below, the links below, on YouTube, on social media, Instagram, and our website as well, so that people could reach you directly. Yeah. Thank you so much
Okay,
once
great.
again.
Take care. Bye.